everyone, so we're going to talk about three specific terms that you'll see throughout chemistry. They're called atomic number, mass number, and atomic mass. You'll need your notes for this. So we're going to talk about each of their definitions and then go through some practice questions. So atomic number is the number of protons in an atom, and the periodic table is arranged by the atomic number. So essentially, the periodic table is arranged by the number of protons. So we can't change the atomic number without changing the element itself, and we'll talk about this when we deal a little bit more with nuclear chemistry. But if we take a look at number 2 is going to be helium. If we changed it from number 2 to number 1, it would end up being hydrogen. So if we reduce the number of protons, we change the element completely. So the atomic number on our reference tables for New York State is located in the lower left-hand corner, right above the electron configuration. Every single periodic table that you'll see has the atomic number on there. It may only have just the atomic number and the element symbol, but at least it'll be on there. The mass number is the number of protons plus the number of neutrons, so we have to add the number together. So if we take chlorine 37, sometimes you'll see it written out this way as well, so it's the element dash the number. That number represents the mass number right there. Sometimes you'll also see it as just the element symbol and the number as well. Other times you'll see it when we have the number here as well as the atomic number right here. And actually we'll go back up through. Let's figure out the atomic number of chlorine. Find chlorine on here, and it should be 17. Alright, so going back through, that number 37 again is the number of protons and the number of neutrons. Well, we automatically know what the number of protons is because it's the element chlorine. So we know that there's going to be 17 protons in here. But a question might ask you how many neutrons there are. So all you have to do is take this number, the 37, which is the protons and the neutrons, minus the 17, which is just the number of protons, and then you should just get the number of neutrons left over. So we have 20 neutrons in this atom. So the nice thing about mass number is that even if you don't know what the number of neutrons are, you can still figure it out if you have the number of protons or what the element's name or symbol is. The atomic mass is actually the weighted average of all of the mass numbers combined. So we'll see in a little bit that not all of this, every atom has the same number of neutrons. So we kind of take however many there are that have a certain percent of neutrons and add them together, and that's how we get our weighted average mass, or the atomic mass. We'll do a calculation for these in just like a few videos, so don't worry, you'll see how to do them. But the atomic mass is actually found on the periodic table as well. It's the upper left-hand corner of our New York State periodic table. So any of these numbers, usually they're decimals in there, but they will again give you the atomic mass. So again, this is the weighted average of all of the atoms that have a certain number of protons and neutrons. So some questions. Which quantity identifies the element? So if we want to know what identifies the element, let's go through these. So the total number of valence electrons in an atom of the element. Don't forget, valence electrons are the electrons in the outermost shell. And this specifically won't tell us what element it is. It'll tell us what group number it is, but not necessarily which element in that group. So for B, the total number of neutrons in an atom of the element. The neutrons can change. They can vary between certain elements, and some elements might have the same number of neutrons. So this necessarily doesn't tell us the right number. The atomic number is the number of protons, and the mass number is the number of protons and neutrons. So if we want specifically what identifies an element, it should be the atomic number, just the number of protons. And the next question is, what can be determined if only the atomic number of an atom is known? So if we only know just the atomic number, we know atomic number stands for the number of protons, but if it's an atom should be electrically neutral, meaning that you have the same number of positive charges as you do negative charges. So if you have a certain number of protons, you should have the same number of electrons in there as well. So let's take a look at these. So A, the total number of protons and the total number of neutrons. That represents the mass number, so that wouldn't be it. B tells us the total number of protons in the atom only. Always look out if they ever say only. That could be questionable. Let's take a look at C, the total number of neutrons in an atom only. Well, the neutrons would not be the atomic number, so don't worry about that. And D, the total number of protons and the total number of electrons in the atom. So again, if it's an atom, it's electrically neutral, it has the same number of protons as well as electrons. So D is our answer. You could see how many people would have chosen B, not even gone through C and D. So don't let yourself be one of those people that get tricked, okay? So the atomic number tells you the number of protons, and if it's an atom, it tells you the number of electrons. The mass number is the protons plus the number of neutrons. If you have what the element symbol is, you can figure out the number of protons by looking at the periodic table and then subtracting the mass number minus the number of protons to give you the number of neutrons. And the atomic mass is the weighted average of all the mass numbers, and we will be doing calculations on those in just a few lessons. Have a great day, guys.